Hello everyone and welcome to Instant Biology by Dr. Neelab. The topic that we are going to deal today is GATB last 1 month strategy. So this video would be in English. Multiple students who do not understand Hindi have requested me to make this video in English so that they can also get benefited. So I would be making this video in English and I request you to please watch the video till the end because an important strategy and how you need to work out this exam has been discussed at the end of this video. Okay, so let us first of all start with the introduction of the GATB examination. You need to understand this very clearly so as to score good and a high rank in the examination. So first thing is the notification came out on the 7th and you can now fill the forms from 7th to 31st of July. So but what I would suggest you all is that fill the forms as soon as possible because you do not know about the websites, right? The server might crash down, the website might not be working. So I would request you all that please fill in the forms as soon as possible. Now coming to the examination pattern, I want you to understand this, that examination consists of part A and part B. You might have seen my previous videos. For those of you who have not seen my previous videos on GATB, I would put in the description, I would put in the video links on the description box. You can check out the videos. Another important thing is I have already discussed what are the important topics of for part B as well as for part A. So you should watch those videos and at the minimum study at least those topics perfectly so that if in examination you can score well on those topics. So coming to part A, the important thing is the course would or the examination would comprise of questions coming from class 12th and it would mainly be focusing on physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology, right? So these are 4 subjects you can see: physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology. Not exactly mathematics, but it would, yes, it would comprise of general calculations and all. Okay, so I've already told you how to work or what are the important topics for part A. If you have not seen the video, I would request you to see the videos. Another important thing is that the questions that would come from these this part A would be 60 in number and each question would carry 1 mark only. So 60 multiplied by 1 gives of 60. So this is of 60 marks, right? Part A is of 60 marks. And an important thing that you should remember before giving in the exam is that you would get plus 1 marks in part A and minus 0.5 for each negative or for each wrong answer. So the negative marking here is pretty high. You should remember that the negative marking here is pretty high. So you should attempt only and only those questions for which you are confident about the answer. Do not beat around the bush in part A. It can be very dangerous because of the high negative marking. Now coming to part B. So part B comprises of biotechnology, life science, allied subjects, and in here you would be given 100 questions and out of these 100 questions you are responsible for marking, or you are going to attempt only 60 of them, and each question here comprises of 3 marks. So 60 multiplied by 3 gives 180. So all in all this part is of 180 marks. Now coming to the marking system in this part B, you would get plus 3 for attempting a correct question and you would get minus 1 if you do it wrong. So the negative marking in this portion is a bit relaxed as compared to the part A. Now what I want you to understand is that this particular part A comprises of 4 portions: physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology. So it comprises of 4 portions. 60 marks is the value of this part A. So if you divide 60 by 4, what you would get is you would get 15 questions per subject: physics 15, chemistry 15, 30, mathematics 15, 45 and last biology 15 would make it to 60. So but because you are studying biology here also, it won't be much difference. There won't be much difference between the questions of part A and part B. It would be more simpler as compared to this the biology portion that would come in part B. So if you study biology well, what I want you to understand over here is, if you study biology well, then you would not only be able to mark this particular portion, that is 180 marks, you would be able to work upon, and you would also be able to work upon the 15 marks of biology here. That would make the total up to 195 marks. So 180 plus 15, that would make it to 195 marks. So if you study biology properly, that is why I have written here focus on biology. If you study biology properly, then you would be able to secure, or you would be able to work on 195 marks. Now I would also, at the end of this video, I would also tell how to study this part A in this leftover time. Okay, so that is why you should focus on this biology portion, but I would tell you that how you can work with the part A portion also in the remaining time. So let us talk about, it took me long before making this video, because I was analyzing the previous year questions. Okay, so the previous year questions, if you check out the previous year questions, you would find that biochemistry is the major portion, or from biochemistry the major questions come out. Okay, so I have checking out the previous JNU CEEB questions, because you might be knowing that GAT-B was evolved or came out recently, but JNU CEEB was previously the examination that was being conducted. I analyzed the previous year questions for JNU CEEB and also the GAT-B question for last year, and I found out that biochem portion, or biochem, is comes of about 25 to 30 questions, microbio about 18 to 22 questions every year, mol bio 11 to 15, immuno 8 to 9, genetics 7, techniques 5 to 7, cell biology 7, RDT 6 to 7, bioinfo 5 to 6, animal physio 4, plant physio 2, PTC 2, animal tissue culture 2, and fermentation technology also I found out one question that comes each year. So this is actually most importantly arranged in the decreasing order of the questions that are seen each year. But you see, I don't think that the pattern would change much this year, but yes, you can expect a few changes. That can be purely unpredictable, nobody can guess that, but yes, I think that this pattern would be followed this year also. So you can see that biochemistry is the highest yielding topic, followed by microbiology. Okay, so in biochemistry I've already told you what are the major things that you should focus upon. If you have not seen the video for part B, I request you to please go and visit my channel and then check out the part B video. I would post the links in the description box also. So followed by microbiology. Biochemistry, I said that you should be aware of the enzyme portion, you should be aware of the protein portion, you should also be aware of the peptide bonding, you should also be aware about the kinetics, right? So these are some of the important topics. Coming to microbiology, you should be aware of the diseases that are caused by bacteria and fungi. You should also be aware about the bacteriophage system. Coming to mol bio, see, mol bio is all in all important, right? You should be aware about the different enzymes that are used in transcription, translation and replication. Coming to immunology, a lot of questions come or are asked from this particular immunology portion, such as haptens, adjuvants, such as immunoglobulin, characteristic of immunoglobulin. I've already made some videos in immunology. If you have not seen them, you can watch them and it would help you in cracking GAT-B examination with good score. Genetics also comes, and in this genetics you should be aware about the crosses, different types of crosses, and the ratios that you get in the crosses, such as epistasis, the complementary genes, supplementary genes, and so on and so forth. Techniques also comes, but that it only comes for about 5 to 7 questions are asked from this techniques portion. Cell biology also 7 questions around. RDT, you might have studied RDT for the GATE examination, and that would be helpful for you in this particular examination also. Bioinformatics also comes, but it comes for only 5 to 6 marks. I would suggest that in bioinformatics also I told you what you have to study and what you do not have to study. You should be careful about the databases and the different types of tools that you utilize for multiple sequence alignment and so on and so forth. Animal physiology comes for around 4 marks. You should be at least be aware about the endocrine system, because from that portion part A questions are also asked about the different types of hormones that are produced. Important portion can be of ECG also. Important portion can be of the excretory system, the proximal convoluted tubule, and so on and so forth. Coming to the plant physiology, I mean, you cannot predict in plant physiology. You can be asked questions that are as simple as the water potential also, but you can also be asked tough questions. But all in all, you should understand that in GAT-B examination you get more or less superficial questions. The questions are not asked in that detail, but you get superficial questions. So if you have a basic idea about all of these topics, you would be able to score good. That is my belief. Okay, now coming to plant tissue culture, around two questions are asked. Around animal tissue culture, around 2 questions are asked. And then fermentation technology. So in fermentation technology, what I want you to understand is the you see bioprocess things, right? What is the impeller, what is the sparger, what is Reynolds number, so on and so forth. So I have explained all of this, the important topics. I have given the details of all the important topics, that what you should study and what you should leave for this GAT-B examination. So this is my analysis about the questions that come each year from GAT-B. Now what I have done is I have made my strategy according to the questions that are coming each year. Now let us move on to the strategy that I believe I would have taken if 1 month would have left, and the exam, I would be giving the exam after 1 month. So what I would have done is, in the first week, let us divide the 30 days that we are left with in 4 weeks. Okay, so there are 7 days in a week, so let us divide it into 4 weeks. So in first week, what would I have done is, I would be starting with the lower portion. Okay, why lower? I would tell it, because the biochemistry is the maximum yielding topics, and if you move in this direction, the number of questions are the number of questions is increasing. So what I would have done is, I would have firstly looked over the low yielding topics, and I would be studying the high yielding topics at the end, so that it remains fresh in my mind before 14th of August. So if I have to give the exam on 14th of August, I would want to learn all the high yielding topics just before 14th of August, so that it remains fresh in my mind. This is my belief, this is my way of studying. I would have studied in this fashion. It's up to you if you want to follow or not, but students told me that the strategy that I told them for GATE examination, it worked for them. Okay, so let us come to the first week. I would have taken the plant tissue culture, the animal tissue culture, the animal physiology, plant physiology, and the leftover fermentation technology in the first week. Let me think that I am starting today. So in this week, what I would have done is, I would have studied all of these topics. And also, let us say that I am studying for 12 hours in this particular week. I have thought that I will study for 12 hours, and in those 12 hours I would divide my time in such a way that I would study for 10 hours. I would study 10 hours for all these biology portions, and 1 to 2 hours I can spare for physics, chemistry, and mathematics. That too only those topics that I have already told you about in the part A important topics video. Again, in the second week, what would I have done is, you can take these topics. The next one, bioinformatics, RDT, cell biology, and techniques in the second week, plus 1 to 2 hours of PCM daily. In the third week, what would have I done? Genetics, immunology, mol bio, and microbio. Fine. Okay, so this I would have completed in the third week with again this PCM 1 to 2 hours. Now coming to the fourth week, what would have I done? I am now only left with biochemistry. See, I am now only left with biochemistry. So I did this deliberately because there would be portion that I would not have completed during these 3 weeks. If there is some portion that you were not able to complete in the previous 3 weeks, when you are reaching the fourth week, you can take up those topics and cover it here. Furthermore, if you get time, you can increase the time for physics, chemistry, maths. But because you should understand this, that for securing a particular rank, you have to make your biology good. And if you want to increase or boost up your rank, the physics, chemistry, mathematics portion is very important. So that is why I am asking you to give 1 to 2 hours daily of physics, chemistry to physics, chemistry, maths, 1 to 2 hours daily to physics, chemistry, maths, and 1 to 2 hours daily to physics, chemistry, maths over here also. In this particular portion, I would request you that the time that you are spending, you should spend in such a way that studying each topic, after studying each topic, you are at least able to solve some questions from the previous year examination, so that you can at least get a hold of what is happening, or what is GATB, or what kind of questions does GATB give each year. So I would request you to do, suppose you are studying plant tissue culture, you just move over, or you just you just check out the questions that have been asked in previous years about the plant tissue culture. That won't take much of time if you have studied it well. Again, you can go to the animal tissue culture. Again, then you can move to the plant physiology, animal physiology and plant physiology. You can do the same thing. Practice a little bit of questions so that you can get an idea about the pattern of questions. I'm sure that you won't face any problems with the time, because GATB questions are very superficial. If you know the answer, if you know the basics, you can do it easily. That won't pose any difficulties. It is not like the examination of CSIR or GATE examination, in which you are required to solve multiple numericals and so on and so forth. But no, in GATB examination, I did not find many numericals. There are few numericals which I've already told in the previous videos on GATB. So finally, what I would do is I would focus on biochemistry and the leftover portion, plus a few questions about physics, chemistry, mathematics, and then I would complete this. Okay. Meanwhile, I would also do the questions as I already suggested you. Okay. So in this way, I would cover the entire syllabus in the stipulated time. So this was my strategy. So if you like the video, if you like my strategy, and if you are following my strategy, then please give a like to my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Have a great day.